People, I got sad news for you tonight. The girls are not all right. Well, for those of you who didn't know here, why don't I just go ahead and break the bad news to you here. On the left, you have actress Megan Good with her ex-husband, Devin Franklin. And on the right, you've got Megan Good with this gentleman. He goes by the name Disaster. And if the side by side on your screen is any indication, he lives up to the name. He is truth in advertising. Now, it is still alleged. We don't have complete confirmation. There's rumors going around. However, I don't know. How much rumor can you possibly have? I don't know. But this fella here was obviously thrilled enough about it. He went on Twitter and he was more than glad to let the rest of the world know that, well, something is or isn't. Now, I'm of a mind that if something isn't, she would be first in line to let people know, this guy isn't really my style here. But it goes to a point here. Folks, what happens? What happened? What the hell happened to Megan Good? What happened? I know folks want attention, but can we just be honest? It's looking like she just went all the damn way down. How in the hell did you go from this to that? And I suggest to you all that it is a symptom of the disease of the modern era, gross miscalculation. I want you all to go ahead and make sure you hit the like button on tonight's program here, because you know they're going to try to hide this. We need to have a serious conversation about the brutal effects of being downgraded. You see, sometimes the man does the downgrading, sometimes you do the downgrading by miscalculating what you can actually get. And we're going to go deep into this tonight because Megan Good is a perfect example of what's happening out there today. There's no way in the world you see this as a good thing. You might try to see it that way in the short term when you're out of touch with reality, but eventually it rears its ugly head. Now, by the way, how do you consider this to be a bad thing? How do you consider it to be a downgrade? Oh, I don't know. If you go ahead and watch this guy long enough here, I don't know. Maybe if you go hanging out on his Twitter long enough, take a look at this. By the way, the sign of maturity. Yes, absolutely. Nothing says maturity on a grown man like letting you know, by the way, your top 3 gaming consoles that failed. Nothing says maturity. Look, a lot of y'all just can't cut it. I'm just going to be brutally honest. Ladies, I'm going to get to the guys next time. On my next program, I'm getting to the guys. But tonight, ladies, I got to let you know, some of you you're not able to make the cut. This adulthood thing just ain't working for you. You want the wedding, you want Mr. Straight-Laced, but you ain't really built to do that. So you fake it and you fraud as long as you can. But eventually you realize, I ain't cut out for this. Bring on white pookey. Go ahead and bring on white pookey. Maybe his whiteness will offset his pookiness. But let me just go ahead and see if I can handle somebody a little bit closer to my pay grade. So there you are. This is a sad commentary. And understand, after something like this, Megan, you're done. You will never be able to go back up the ladder again. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way at all. Now, she's trying to put on a good face here. She's been trying to show a brave face about it. But one thing says it all. Whether or not you think this is sincere or not, one thing says it all. I suggest to you that this look right here says it all. That right there. That tells you everything. And by the way, I want you to keep this particular expression, this specific expression with this specific, her specific posture. Keep this in mind because we'll be seeing this again before tonight's program is over. How in the hell did it happen to you, Megan? How in the hell did you fall this damn low? How in the world did you even allow a picture like this to be taken? How in the world would you even allow a picture like that to be taken? To even allow somebody to infer something like that? That's when you realize, yeah, adulthood just isn't working out for you. It's just not. So on tonight's program, I'm going to be discussing about that. Ladies, I want to introduce to you a concept here, something that has been beaten over men's heads for the longest time, but tonight I want to introduce you to a concept. I want to introduce you ladies to the burden of feminine performance. There is a burden of performance when you are a female. And if you make the correct decisions, you will be able to handle the burden. If you don't, you end up looking like Megan. Well, why is that a bad thing? Because Megan ordinarily, there's Megan. She's out thirst trapping and taking pictures and everything else. You can look as glamorous as you want to, ma'am. That doesn't really help when the next thing we see is you and white Pookie. It doesn't really help. What good does it do? This is a waste of sexiness. If this is all you're going to do with it, you got that, and the best you can think to do with it is this, I wouldn't have even allowed that picture to be taken. But she's having a rough go of it right now. She's having a real rough go of it right now because she doesn't have a whole lot to show for it. You know, I was going to get into this a little bit later, but why don't we just go ahead and nail into this right now? Folks, I want to go ahead and discuss with you here about when you get downgraded. What happens to a woman when she gets downgraded? Let's go ahead and go through the list here. First of all, her next man. What happens to her? She starts to feel bad. How do you know she's been downgraded? How does she know she's been downgraded? First and foremost, the biggest symptom, her next man is a far lower quality than her last man. Oh, she don't want you doing those side-by-side pictures. She doesn't want that. She doesn't want people seeing that because understand, ladies, can we be honest? A lot of you are in anguish tonight. A lot of you are upset tonight. A lot of you are feeling bad tonight because you're taking a look at who's next to you or who isn't, and life ain't the same. It's not the same. It's a tragic story because you realize, I'll be damned. First of all, the fella I'm with is nowhere near the caliber of where I was. Boy, that's gotta be an ego buster. Nowhere near the quality. Number two, why don't we go ahead and jump into this? She begins spending all her time with family, especially any sons. Now, this one is kind of important because I've been warning you all about this for the longest time here. If you want a really good example of that, look no further than Lala Anthony. Yeah, she's going around, and since she got divorced from Carmelo, here you're finding yourself out here back on the market. Cover up them stretch marks. She's doing everything she damn well can. Cover up that midsection, try to conceal those stretch marks back there. But she's throwing out the thirst bait and nobody is biting, so she's spending a lot of quality time now with her 15-year-old son. With her 15-year-old son. Couldn't help but notice ever since she was no longer with Carmelo, she's hanging out with her son all the damn time now. Never mind the fact that on her Instagram, you see these pictures side by side with these pictures. Mom of the year. I know it's hurting a lot of feelings because in Generation Thought, there's a bunch of you the same damn way. You got your damn drawers showing right next to your kids because you don't make a line of distinction between being a single woman trying to advertise for a man versus being a taken woman who is with a man. And if you don't, you end up here. Take a look. Oh yeah, I thought I would tell you one thing. Take a look at the picture in the middle. Take a look at the picture in the middle. The gesture, the body posturing. Take a look. Take a look. Is it just me? Just me when a woman is with a immature man, he starts to bring out her childishness? Is it just me? Because I can show you other pictures, by the way, from other people. Maybe it's just me, right? No, there's nothing to it. Nothing to it at all. It's just me. Just me. All right. Number 3, she's constantly saying her life is lit now. It's not. When a woman's life is lit, she is too busy living it. She is too busy enjoying it. She is not going to the internet about it. She doesn't have to. She is too busy enjoying the spoils of what she has. When she's been downgraded, she's going to have to sit up here and make up for what she doesn't have. And I want to tell you right now, there are sometimes you can act like it's okay. There is nothing about this situation that is lit. There is nothing about it that's great. There's nothing about it at all. Her soul is dying. Her soul is literally dying. When you're trying to pretend everything is okay, take a look at it. Big old grins on their faces. Your soul is dying. It's not lit. It isn't great. It isn't okay. You're not all right with that. Next, she goes completely quiet. Now, this is one that the fellas need to remember. When she goes completely quiet is because she's embarrassed about her life. Yeah, because she doesn't have anything good to show people, so let's just go ahead and keep it quiet. Yeah, like Homer Simpson backing into the bushes. Let's just go ahead and keep it quiet. Let's just be quiet about it. Maybe nobody will notice if I don't say anything. Wrong. Next, she becomes angry, bitter, vindictive with anyone who gets too close to her. When a woman has been downgraded, it changes everything because she's going to tell the world she's all right with it. She is not all right with it. Next thing you know, she is just out there trying to get by how she does. It's not good. She becomes angry, bitter, vindictive. Shout out Vivica Fox. Shout out Nicole Young. Shout out Melinda Gates. Yeah, shout out to you too, Kim K. I'm going to get to you in just a minute. Hang tight. When they've been downgraded, they don't appreciate that. It's not a good place to be. They're angry as they can be. They're going to be vindictive. They've got nothing good to say. If they do, it's going to be some cutting remark. No, they don't move on. Biggest lie in the world is that they move on. No, they don't. If they've been downgraded, that's where they're going to remain. Because there's one immutable fact that you can't get past when that occurs. She tries to pretend that she doesn't care that she's with a lower quality male. When a woman is with the best that she can do, and when the best that she can do is obviously lower than where she's been, yeah, no wonder you're going to sit there with a big ass smile on your face. You're like, oh, I'm bummy and raggedy. The world can see it. Whee! Pookey here is the best I can get. Can't you see? It's great. It's wonderful. My life is lit. Can't you see? Yeah, isn't this the trajectory of a lit life? Isn't that the way that goes? Or at least that's the way you tell yourself. You want to know whether or not things are not going very well for you? Let me go ahead and give you a bigger look into this. In case you all didn't know, yeah, the news outlets are talking about it and whatnot. Oh, Kim K has finally decided to bring Pete Davidson into the house. So now she's trying the Ciara thing. I guess she's going to see if that works. See if you can get him to spend time with the kids. That'll help him want to be stepdaddy. It worked for Ciara. Why in the world won't it work for me? It worked for Ciara. Well, you know, Kim, I got a couple of ideas, Kim, about why it won't work for you, Kim. I could say a whole bunch of words, but I'll let a picture speak for me. If you want to know why this ain't going to work for you, Kim, Here's a clue. Hurry, step right up. Anybody and everybody out there, if you would like to have your shot at the title for this, here you go. There she is. Let me tell you right now, can you imagine the bill at Red Lobster or Chuck E. Cheese? Can you imagine the bill? And she's going to be expecting you to be protector and provider. Yeah, I know you all haven't seen this picture. Most of you haven't seen this picture of Kim trying to do the motherly thing with all the children. Now that you see this picture, you see Kim Kardashian for what she really is. You're not glamorous. You're not famous. You're not exotic. You're just a chick with a bunch of kids. You're just a chick with a bunch of kids. To the fellas, if you're feeling me right now, I'm going to ask the fellas here, if I'm telling the truth, if what I'm saying is the truth, hit the thumbs up emoji and hit my like button for me. YouTube is going to try to keep the numbers down, but if I'm telling the truth, hit the thumbs up emoji and hit the like button for me. Because while the media outlets are going to try to play this like this is some great and wonderful thing and whatnot, you know damn well from the world of men, there's not a fella on this planet who is looking forward to taking this family outing. Not a single one. Not a single one. This isn't fun time. Can you imagine going to Disney World? Can you imagine what a trip to Disney World, a flight on an airplane, a trip to a restaurant, can you imagine what that's gonna be like? And you don't even get a break-in period. You've got to jump into this from day one. Just on day one is you getting 4 shawties dropped on you. From day one. 4 shorties who used to live in the high life just getting dropped on you from day one. No wiggle room, no adjustment time, no learning curve. You just go from being single laying up with Kim, talking crap to Kanye, to all of a sudden, I'll be damned. Half a basketball team. Just on the first day. Yeah, Kim has no problem with this. She's like, yeah, somebody need to come take care of little Larry. Northwest, southwest, east, west. We got all the directions on the compass covered. All of them. Northwest, southwest, northeast, inside out. Everything's covered. But just ask yourselves, is that an upgrade? Because here's the real thing. Kim is trying to get in where she fits in because things are rough right now. She's trying to get in where she fits in. But I got to ask you here, ma'am, are you sure this was an upgrade? Because I'm taking a look at the dude. I'm taking a look at him and I'm saying, oh, I don't know. This doesn't look so great. This doesn't look so great at all. I mean, you went from a man who bought you 5 Maybachs to white Pookie rolling around in your car. Yeah, this is a good look, right? Maybe Jason is blowing it up too much. Maybe Jason is saying too much. But she doing good now. At least she happy with Pete. She's happy with Pete. Okay, what happened to everybody else here? Couldn't help but notice, how are things working out for Kanye? I know you all have heard a lot about recent headlines with Kanye and Coachella. Here's a recent headline for you. By the way, here's a recent headline for you now. In case you didn't hear about everything else, here's one for you. Like Kanye West said in his song Power, how Ye doing? I'm surviving. So if you wanted to have an idea how Kanye is doing right now, by the way, this story just came out. According to Forbes, he ain't up. He's all the way up. He's all the way up. So Rihanna, Jay-Z, and Kanye are all on the list of net worth of billionaires. All of them on the list now. Now, there was one hating ass writer out there. He was just determined. You know, you always gonna have some hating writers out there trying to throw salt on it. Yeah, he's gonna desperately try. He's got to try and make this work. So he's gonna throw Kim Kardashian's name in there too. He's gonna throw Kim Kardashian's name in there. Oh, well, you know, they all make the cut of billionaires. Kim is valued at 1.8. Kanye is valued at 2 billion. Let me say that again, in case you missed it. Kim Kardashian is valued at 1.8 billion. Kanye is valued at 2 billion. Now, you can talk about Kim and Kanye. You can talk about Kanye and Kim. You can talk about the list. Who's higher up on the list, Kim or Kanye? Kanye or Kim? But you know who's not on this list? I'll tell you who ain't on this list. Am I saying too much? I'm only 20 minutes in. I'm only 21 minutes into the broadcast tonight. Am I saying too much already? Am I saying too much already? Am I making somebody feel bad? Somebody tell me which side of winning this is. Tell me which side of winning this is. I got a question here. Maybe I should pull up a poll tonight. How long is it going to take for Pete Davidson? How long is it going to take for Pete Davidson to hit the list of Forbes billionaires? Should I put up a poll asking you all how long you think it's going to take for Pete Davidson to hit that list? Is that too personal? I shouldn't do it? Should I go ahead and ask? How long do you all think it's going to take for Pete Davidson to get there? Just out of curiosity. 5 years? 10 years? 20 years? Some of y'all saying Neverwary. All right. Well, I just thought we would ask the question. Okay, then I got another question to ask you all then. Since that's the situation, if that's the way you feel about it and whatnot, tell me something. Do you think that Kim is okay with that? Now that she knows it, do you think that Kim is okay? Do you think that Kim doesn't feel any type of way about that at all? That the headlines come out, your ex-husband is killing the game. Your ex-husband is killing the damn game. What happened? I mean, 13 figures. Jay-Z said if I was an 8-figure nigga, Kanye and Jay-Z, now they 13 figures. What happened? Well, 11 figures, but you get the idea. Anyway, what happened? What happened? Is anybody going to tell me they're okay with that? Is anybody going to tell me they're all right? She's okay with that? Trying to take care of a legacy? She's all right with that. She doesn't feel any kind of way. She's going to march off into the sunset and she's perfectly happy. Going from a man who's worth $1 billion and was able to bring all of the status, prestige, resources, and everything else with it. No. She would much rather have this. She'd much rather be with this. A big ass kid driving around a big pink Jeep. Yet she would much rather have this. No downgrade here, right? No feeling no kind of way. No downgrade here, right? Okay. All right, if you say so. Look, I'm just trying to warn you. She tries to pretend that she doesn't care if she's with a lower quality male. A lot of females out there struggling with that right now, trying to pretend that they're okay with a lower quality male. They don't want you to think there's anything wrong with that. They're all right being with a lower quality male. It doesn't bother them at all. As a matter of fact, they're perfectly cool with it. Perfectly cool with it. Right? They're perfectly cool with it. Right? I mean, you ain't feeling no sting. It's not stinging you. It's not bothering you. You're perfectly fine dealing with a purse Rocky. Yeah, you're perfectly fine. We can hang out and be two overgrown ass children together because you don't feel any kind of way. And of course, if you are with him, because Chris Brown and Drake were so bad, you're with ASAP now. You've got total respect. You don't feel like you've been downgraded at all, do you? You don't feel downgraded at all. No, you don't feel downgraded at all. You're perfectly fine with this. Why, you've got complete confidence in the caliber of man that you have chosen and that you ended up with. You went from quality men to struggle love. No, she's perfectly fine with him, right? Let me go ahead and zoom in. For those of you who can't see what that says, it's from that old song, Who Daddy is Just My Baby Daddy. Yeah, she's got complete confidence and respect in him, doesn't she? Nothing says strong and independent, and I respect strong and independent like putting on a shirt like that. Yeah. No. She's going to tell us that she hasn't been downgraded. Come on now, where are all the damn Riri fans? Where are all the Riri treads out there who were sitting up talking about it was okay, it was all right, it's not a problem, she's all right, she's not smarting from it, she's perfectly fine. You tell me a man in this world who considers a t-shirt like that to be respect. That's not just disrespect, that's contempt. It's just my baby dad. Just? What the hell? And then again, of course, if I got to remind you here, because you know we are kings of analyzing behavior. Take a look at that. She's walking out front. Take a look at it. She's out front and she's got her hand behind her, pulling him along like a child. Yeah, this is exactly where you envision things going, right, Riri? This is exactly where you envision things going. Not a downgrade at all. There's nothing struggling about this at all. When you're talking about this just my baby daddy, you say, oh, this nigga ain't gonna be there. In other words, this fella, he ain't gonna be there at all. This is it. This is it. People were asking me before, what was 2022 going to be? About 2022, what's 2022 going to be? I told you all 2022 is going to be the year of the downgrade. I told you all coming in the door, 2022 is going to be the year of the downgrade. 2022 is the year where a bunch of females are going to go out here and they're going to attempt to test the waters. Their immaturity is going to get the better of them. They're going to attempt to test the waters. They're going to attempt to try to prove that they can do whatever they want to and everything's going to turn out great. Ladies, I did my program, The Woman's Wasteland, and if you hadn't checked it out, you need to. There ain't nothing waiting for you out here. You better tuck your immaturity back in its pocket. There ain't nothing waiting for you out here but an ass whooping. This is the year of the downgrade. And it's going to be brutal. The reason why is because once you accept a pookey, understand you have just told the world what your new price is. You don't get to upgrade up the price after that. Remember, I warned you all about that. where Kim Kardashian was concerned. I sat up there and said, remember I told you all, oh, she's never going to get another Kanye. She's never going to have another Kanye. Once you tell the world that you can lay up with Kim Kardashian and drive her Rolls Royce around, that's it. You're stuck with it. That's why she's doing this now. Let me gather the children. Yes, there will be no more men. Let me gather the children. There will be no more men. Let me gather the children, April Jones, because there will be no more men. Let me gather the children, Lala Anthony, because there will be no more men. And you know it. And nothing says that your life has failed to launch and that you have failed as a woman. Nothing says that like having to admit to the world you have been downgraded. There used to be a time where you were flush with options out there. There used to be a time where a woman could just jump from one place to another and there would just be a simp waiting with open arms to suck you in and everything's going to be great. And yeah, go ahead and bring on in all them kids. 2 of them, 4 of them, 9 of them. We'll take them all. Ladies, it doesn't work that way anymore. Hell, it wasn't really, quote, working before, but it's not even an option available now. That's the problem. Now, you don't have to like what I'm saying. It is brutal reality, and I know you don't have to like what I'm saying. But the bottom line is, let's be very, very clear. When a woman has given up on herself, yeah, bring on Pookie. When she's letting you know, yeah, it ain't gonna work out. She's letting you know, this is the best I can do. Remember the rules I taught you all. A man, if you want to know about the feminine burden of performance, if you really want to know, I have to remind you about the feminine burden of performance. Remember that a man is judged by the quality of life that he's able to achieve. Remember that. A man is judged by the quality of life that he's able to achieve. A woman is judged by the quality of man that she is able to achieve. That is the feminine burden of performance. And when a woman fails the feminine burden of performance, she ends up being downgraded. And after that, her mental and emotional state begins to crash. And I can't think of a better example of a woman's mental and emotional state crashing after losing a man who's at the top of his game, a man who's worth something, a man who is giving you a good look, a man who is actually of quality. I can't think of a better example than what has happened to Megan Good. I can't think of a better example. If anybody liked her, if she had any friends in the world, they would be telling her, yeah, you need to go bury this picture. Don't let anybody see this because this is going to tell everybody exactly what you're worth going forward. (2022), I said that 2022 is the year of the downgrade, and sure enough, they're proving me right. There are going to be a whole lot worse situations occurring. So to the ladies out there, if you do have somebody who's halfway about something, stay put. Stay where you are. Don't venture back out here. You want to sit up here and try to relive your teenage years, don't venture back out here. There's not a wealth of options. Hell, there's nothing. If you find one, you've hit the damn lottery. Let it be. If you find one, you hit the damn lottery. Let it be. Leave it alone. Don't tempt fate. Because if you do, if you leave a safe haven and you sit up here and tell yourself, well, I ain't got to worry because I'm Megan Good, the so fine. Why, I'm just invincible. Nothing could go wrong. Why, I'm Kim Kardashian. My plastic surgeons are on call and on standby 24/7. What could possibly go wrong? Ladies, what could go wrong? Everything. Everything. However, enough from me. The telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the program that laid the foundation upon which all these red pill MGTOW high-value posers and other YouTube copycats are going to be stealing everything that they'll be talking about later. This is the place they get it from. Tonight, I wanted to talk about being downgraded. I want the fellas to go ahead and give me a call. And to the ladies, can we be honest for just a few moments here? I want some of the ladies to call up. Will you do us a favor? To the ladies calling in tonight, I want the ladies to call up and let my mods know you're on the line. We'll bump you to the front of the line. If you just call in and tell the mods your area code, we'll bump you to the front of the line. But to the ladies listening, ladies, if you've been downgraded and if you thought it was the grass was greener on the other side, if you thought, oh, well, I can venture back out there and don't worry, I'm going to get me another one like that last one. How many of you are honest enough to discuss this and talk about this? How many of you are honest enough to admit it? If you are, I want you to give us a call. The number is 646-787-1933. Give us a call. Be honest. Come tell your story here. Go ahead and get this off your chest. Get this off your chest and let everybody know, hey, I went from a quality man to struggle love. I thought it was going to be great. I thought it was going to be delicious. Man, it is ugly as hell out here. Come on, be honest. Let's go ahead and take a few phone calls. Let me get caller from area code 770. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, hi. My name is Nick, and I am calling from Atlanta.
Nick from Atlanta, what's on your mind?
I just recently started listening to you, and I like your passion, but I just have to say, it sounds like, I don't know, like I said, I'm a recent listener, so I don't know your origin, but it sounds like you are really bitter toward women. And I don't want to say it like confrontationally, but I just really want to know, like, can women do anything right? Like, are there any good black women in your opinion? Because I don't know, it just sounds real negative every time I listen. I wonder.
Okay, what would not sound bitter toward women? What in your opinion? What in your opinion would not constitute bitter toward women?
I mean, if you have any positive experiences or like any uplifting things to say, I mean, if you're going to give out good advice, then that's always beneficial. I think sometimes you lean towards some good advice, but when it comes to women specifically, it just seems like it's always negative.
Okay, but that wasn't what I asked, ma'am. I said, okay, so what to you would constitute a man who is not bitter?
Oh, well, I mean, you specifically. I'm talking about you specifically.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, and what I'm saying is, all right, for us to have a frame of reference, you said, "Ooh, it sounds so bitter, ma'am." For the fifth or sixth time, because you're not sounding very smart right now. What would constitute a man who is not bitter, ma'am? What would constitute a man who is not bitter? Give me an example.
A man who is not bitter might say, Black women have done some negative things over here, but then there are some other Black women that have done some positive things over here. Maybe just sharing some positive experiences. That's not to say it's always positive.
Okay, so what you're saying is you want to have a schizophrenic conversation, because that would be as stupid as going to the doctor and you have a broken foot, and then the doctor saying, "Well, you know, there's some folk out front who have the flu. Let me go see about them." So if we're discussing, no, ma'am, what you're saying is that you don't want us to actually stick to the subject, is what you're saying.
What is the subject? The subject is always negative, is all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it has to always be positive. I'm just saying, can you bring anything positive to the table? Do you have any positive experience?
Ma'am, I did a whole program about Will Smith simping. You didn't complain about that.
I don't think I watched that
Okay,
one,
so you're saying, ma'am, just, okay. How long have you been watching,
and him
ma'am?
Simping, what is him simping having to do with
ma'am,
a positive experience for
ma'am,
women? I probably
how long,
with
ma'am, how, you said you're recent. How recent is recent?
I don't watch you every day, but I just maybe in the
so
past
in other words, you're not being truthful.
How about you just asked me how recent? I said in the past like months.
Ma'am,
every day, ma'am, I've heard of you
how many children do you have?
What is now? You said schizophrenic conversation.
Okay, ma'am, that has everything to do with it because hit dogs holler the most about the smallest things. There's nothing bitter. It is a straightforward adult conversation. What you're saying is that you won't accept any conversation that's not sitting up here patting you on the head. If something's wrong, we can have a discussion about what's wrong. Try this a second time. Ma'am, how many children, how many children do you have? Ma'am, Nick in Atlanta, how many children do you have?
Sir, I already said 0 if you would have listened.
Okay, ma'am, how much do you weigh?
I weigh a cool 140. I'm 5'6". I'm fine.
Ma'am, I'm
a baddie.
Okay, you know what, Nick? I think that's very interesting. Why don't we just go ahead and keep this between you and me? Not between you and me. No. Just between you and me. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a text message, and you can respond to that text message with your Instagram, and then we can both take a look and see 140 and fine in Atlanta.
But I'm trying to see what this has to do with my point.
Nick, because I've already said what it is, ma'am. Ma'am, you feel I suspect that you're so hypersensitive because this is hitting you where you live, and you wish that people would overlook it and ignore it. So, Nick, if you are really that, ma'am, Nick, if you're really that fine, then you don't have a problem with that. Because fine females don't have a problem with the world, ma'am. Fine females don't have a problem with the world seeing. I don't have to say anything, ma'am. Fine females speak for themselves. I don't like Brittany Renner, but she's damn good looking. I don't have to like her. It speaks for itself. So if you are fine, then you don't have a problem with that. Because fine females have no problem with that.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second to agree with you. You're making a valid point. If Brittany Renner, she is beautiful, but you would probably say that you don't necessarily like her as a person, and I would absolutely agree with you.
Okay, but ma'am, that has nothing to do with the fact that that's how she looks. And in your case, I highly suspect that is not because I suspect that is not the case. Your attitude is that of a size 16.
Let's say I send you my Instagram and you see and you're like, oh wow, she is beautiful.
Okay, then let's go ahead.
What are you gonna say then?
Ma'am, then you've proven your point.
If I'm beautiful, then what is the point that I'm proving if I'm beautiful though?
Ma'am,
I see this
because
ma'am, I do have big boobs, but I don't have dreads.
Okay, then ma'am,
like that.
I've sent you a text message. You can respond with your Instagram information, and then we'll just settle this.
I'm sorry. I really want to have a respectful conversation.
Okay, ma'am. Here's respectful. Ma'am, here's respectful. A size, ma'am. First of all, we don't talk over the host. Here is respectful. I suspect that you are a bitter. I suspect you are a bitter, overweight, not very attractive size 16, and that's why these discussions upset you so badly. So why don't we just settle this issue?
Did you send me the text message?
Why don't we go ahead, ma'am? Understand something. I'm only going to give you 30 more seconds, and then I'm going to drop your call. You have been sent a text message.
I just asked you to send me the text.
Yes, that was me who sent it to you on your Boost Mobile or your AT&T Go phone.
I don't see it.
I do not believe that.
How about Okay. What's your Instagram? How about I DM you? Would that work for you? Because I don't see the text.
Sure, my Instagram's Black Authority.
Hold on, real quick. Here it goes. Hold on. And I honestly, I'm not.
Ma'am, why are you talking? Okay, ma'am, why are you talking? This is like making a purchase a purchase at a store. It doesn't require all this jaw jacking. It really just requires just getting to it. It really, really doesn't. It's when a person starts talking to something that doesn't require talking, that's usually the first sign they're concealing something. So
that's Dr. Claude Anderson. I would like to see a picture of you.
Ma'am,
I feel like what you're going to do is just talk shit about it.
Ma'am, I don't have to talk crap about anything, ma'am. It's a very simple thing here. You are wasting a whole bunch of time. You really, really are.
You are such a negative person. I'm about to DM you.
You are the individual who called up unsolicited complaining to a bunch of people who didn't ask your opinion of anything. That's called projection.
To ask why you seem so negative?
You're the one who's negative. Nobody said it was negative. You're the only one who says there's something negative going on. That's called projection.
Are there any underscores, or is it just Black Authority?
Now, first she says she saw Dr. Claude Anderson. Now, that is my page, which now she's like, I don't understand it.
Sure.
Ma'am, if you don't, ma'am, you're making yourself look worse, is all I'm going to tell you. You're making yourself look worse.
In your opinion. I'm gonna send you that picture. I hope it's cute.
Send a picture.
Otherwise, you
don't have to send a picture, ma'am. You don't have to send a picture.
I'm just so you can get my profile.
Okay. What's taking you so long?
I just sent it. I don't know how I'm making myself look worse. I really just wanted to know, like,
ma'am, I think you're just trolling because size 16s do that. And I can't play around with you. You have not, ma'am, you haven't sent me anything. Not at all.
Well, maybe you should refresh.
Okay, ma'am, you haven't sent me anything.
Maybe you should refresh it. I just sent you 2 pictures.
Okay. So basically what you're doing is trolling.
I just sent it.
Is basically, okay. Size 16s tend to do that.
Let me know when you
get it. So, ma'am, if you want to know why you are angry and bitter, that is the reason why. Just understand she hadn't sent me anything, nothing at all. So first, I can't get no text messages. Ooh, I can't do no Instagram. She sounds like a husky size 18. Sounds very bitter. You know why? Because big gals get downgraded. They get downgraded from riding in a Jeep Grand Cherokee to riding in the Mini Cooper. Yes, they're very, very angry little people. Sounds so bitter. The truth sounds bitter to you. I don't blame you. The truth sounds very bitter. It's a very bitter pill to swallow. I'm Nick in Atlanta. The so fine. Okay, well, if you're so fine, then you wouldn't be calling me. You would be with the man who's taking care of you. You wouldn't be on the phone with me. So, spoiler alert. Caller from area code 212. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, hi. I'm actually also Nick from Brooklyn.
Nick from Brooklyn. We got 2 for 1. What's on your mind?
Well, first, I want to thank you for your program. And I also want to thank you for telling the truth. I'm 35, and I feel that a lot of Black women don't understand that the man that you were dating when you were 25, his taste has not changed. The same way he wanted the 25-year-old size 6 version of you 10 years ago. At 35, 45, and 55, he still wants that woman. His taste has not changed. He's not suddenly going to want a 45 or 55-year-old woman with weight and kids and all this added on. Their tastes don't change. Well, while for women, and I can speak on this personally, we have to constantly, if we haven't secured a man when we were younger, like my mother told me to do, and I didn't because I didn't listen to her, we have to keep changing and changing what we will accept and making accommodations, because the reality is we do lose leverage as we get older. And I want to thank you for telling the truth about that, because Black women get lied to every single day, that we're queens, that we're this and that Black don't crack. And the reality is it's just not true. As we get older, we do lose leverage. And that's just the reality. And I want to thank you for telling women the truth about that.
Well, that can be a very hard pill to swallow because the situation here is when you actually get with a man, the clock basically runs for you specifically. He gets comfortable with you. So his standards, he had a standard. If you met the standard, he gets with you. And once he becomes comfortable with you, your changes that you make along the way, he becomes comfortable with that too. Now, the problem comes in if, for whatever reason, he winds up being without you. Now, if for whatever reason you're no longer in the picture or whatever, and he has to go venture back out into the marketplace on his own, well, then that changes. Because now he's going to be in a situation where he has to start over. And if a man starts over, he's not going to start over where he left off at. Let me explain exactly what I mean, ladies. Let me get this through your heads for you. You all have to understand, when a woman is with a man, she's looking, if a relationship ends, her priority is going to be starting over where she left off at. She's looking at, I need to at least be where I expect the next guy to pick up where I left off with the last one. That's why Ciara resonates with women so much, particularly the moms of the single mother epidemic today. She resonates with them because that's exactly the way they feel. Well, if I get with a new man, I should be able to pick up right where I left off at. It should be seamless. There should be no changes. So if I started having kids with another guy, I got 3 or 4 kids with him. When I meet a new fella, he should just pick right up where we left off. I shouldn't downgrade. I shouldn't have to slow down. He should just step right in and pick up the slack. Well, guess what? For men, it works the opposite. If a man has to start over, he's not really looking to start over where he left off at. He's looking to start over. He's looking to start all over again. And what that means is he is looking to start anew. So he wants what he had when he first met you. He doesn't want to find another chick who's in your circumstances and start from there. He could have stayed where he was. So there's where the disconnect comes between male and female expectations. A woman expects for the next guy to pick up where she left off. The man is expecting for the new female to give him a mulligan, to hit the reset button. I want to start all over again. So if a woman's got 4 kids, she's looking for a dude who's going to step in and play stepdaddy. If a woman is if a woman's with a guy who can buy her a Bentley, she's looking for the next guy to come in the door. Okay, where's the key fob to my Bentley? Where's that? Even if being with the last guy, it took 3 years to get to that point. When she meets the next fella, she intends to start there within 3 months, not 3 years. Because she's like, okay, you got to pick up the pace because I only got a limited number of years and I already gave them 3 years to the last guy. So you got to do everything he was doing, but we got to fast track this. And there's where the disconnect comes in, which is why I say, if you are honest with yourself about your expectations as a woman, ladies, when you get downgraded, that's the worst that can happen. Leave it alone. Leave it the hell alone. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get a call from area code 470. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason. This is Joe from Nashville.
Joe from Nashville. What's on your mind?
Hey, first of all, man, I just got to thank you once again for just doing such a great broadcast. But my question to you is, seeing things like this, I've actually met Megan Good's husband at a function. Not decent guy. I mean, kind of a little bit simpish, but I mean, decent guy. And, I kind of, fit that mold, like work out, do my thing or whatever. But I'm wondering, like, on the dating market, I see more Megan Goods than women like my mother or grandmother, with the women type of women I grew up around. So I'm wondering, is it maybe time to take the game overseas or, what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, if you think it's any better over there, go for it. But the real problem is feminism is global, just like white supremacy. It's thottery is global. You literally have was that Kenyan chicks on OnlyFans. The Kenyan chicks are all over OnlyFans. So, brother, the only thing I would ask you is where you going to go? You got weaves all over the world now. Forget Ludacris and pimping all over the world. It's weaves all over the world now.
Oh, no.
So you tell me, where you going? You got single mothers in Africa now. Ask the Asians. All them Asians knocking up all those chicks. Where you going, man? Mars? When you say overseas, you must mean the Sea of Tranquility. Where are you going? Tell me.
I don't know. Shit. I mean, maybe we just I don't know. Just what do we do about it? I mean, you look for the needle in the haystack or whatever?
Okay. Well, here's the first thing. Okay. The first thing is men. We need for males to stop being males and be men. What does that mean? Look, the bottom line is the females are out of pocket, and the real reason why the black so-called manosphere is an abortion and idiocy in action is because that's worthless. When you ask me what is the answer, my answer isn't, well, the women need to get XYZ. That's not the answer. You don't control what women do. What you can control is yourself. And the world is going to have to adjust the way that it responds to you when you start doing differently. So first and foremost, you have to become a man of consequence. What does that mean? You have to be competent. You have to be resourceful. You have to be driven. Those three characteristics right there alone, if you are competent, resourceful, and driven, then the world is going to have to alter the way it deals with you. It can't just deal with you the same way. It's going to have to alter the way it deals with you. And you're going to be determined to go out into the world and assert yourself. Right now, you have the females being ultra assertive and the males sitting back hoping that somebody will drop them some sex like Santa Claus. No, therein lies the problem. And I understand this because 80% of your boys are raised by single moms. But the bottom line is survival should be taking over at this point. So as men, if you have enough men get together on the same program, that is what changes things. When the world sees that the way the men operate has changed, that's what changes everything. It can't just be a bunch of goofs on the internet talking about, well, let's go ahead and stand up for the average guy. No, you're never going to have power as an average male because the average male is struggling. You can't have power and be struggling at the same time. So when competence and intelligence and drive meet, competence, resourcefulness, and drive, when that meets, and when enough men get together and that's what they are on as a group, that's what changes everything. But like I say, that begins with you and me and us and we. So what's powerful is when we come to places like this and we talk to each other so we all get on the same game plan. It's not enough to just go around here on the internet pretending and using slogans like high value man and then have an audience of below value men. That's the reason that the females aren't changing, because they can see there is no consequence to defying you. Let me go ahead and tell you something right now here. You want to understand what tonight's program is really about? Can I just go ahead and tell y'all that right quick? For those of you who are members of my Patreon, you know what I'm about to say next in this regard here. I usually don't do this very often, but for those of you who are new here, let me go ahead and introduce you to the dark arts. And I'm going to risk a whole lot here tonight, but let me introduce you to the dark arts. Let me tell you something right now. If you leaving a female does not break her, you are inconsequential. And unfortunately, there's a whole bunch of inconsequential males. The females are defying you and daring you to become consequential. Her life should be downgraded. But do you know what being downgraded means, brother? Take a look on your screen. She's sitting there with a guy, he's straight-laced, he's dressed and everything, and take a look at her body language. That's the body language you never saw from Ciara. Megan was like, well, let me go ahead and take this sap. And somewhere along the line, I don't know if he bossed up or whatever, somewhere along the line, he cut things off. Now take a look at the other picture over there. That's the definition of insecurity. Take a look at her. She doesn't look like she's proud to be there. She looks like she's shy and timid as hell. Like, oh boy, I'm taking a picture, but I hope nobody actually sees me. That's being downgraded. A woman is supposed to be nervous. She's supposed to be ramshackle. She's supposed to be missing days at work. She's supposed to be sitting up out here putting up a bunch of selfies on Instagram talking about, hey, I'm just letting y'all know I'm cute for no reason. All right. I'm fine for no reason. Okay, Nick. Try that one. I'm killing it. Watch me out here. Yeah, you want to know what the hell happened? I'll tell you what the hell happened. Carmelo broke Lala. Lala broke. It doesn't matter if she filed for divorce. The bottom line was he broke her. She's out here now. I mean, if you want to know the definition of broken, yeah, she's broken. She got downgraded. She's out here posting half naked and every damn thing else, and nobody is biting. Brother, that's what you leaving the picture is supposed to do. She's supposed to go from sitting back living lavish to sitting up here working 6 days a week. That's what the lack of your presence is supposed to do. Fellas, listen to me. If you leave a woman's life, she's supposed to start struggling. She's supposed to be hanging out with the bummiest dudes, man. That's what the whole point is. Getting with you is supposed to be an upgrade so that in the event you're no longer there, it's supposed to immediately be a downgrade. It's not supposed to be a little bit of a thing. Now, you don't do that for every female, but I'm talking about if a female makes the cut, it's like, okay, you're going to take this ride, but it's a roller coaster. It's not the little teacups thing. And too many fellas don't have the ability to do that, so since you don't have the ability to take them to a very high, they're like, okay, well, I ain't got nothing to lose. No, fellas, a female is supposed to be depressed. She's supposed to be locked up in her room. She's supposed to be boohooing to her friends. She's supposed to be sitting up here blowing a whole bunch of money on video games. She's supposed to be sitting up here on the internet, on Instagram, or she's supposed to get off of all that altogether and go into seclusion, locked up in her room like a 16-year-old who didn't get to go to prom. That's what's supposed to happen. And we don't have nearly enough males today who can do that. Take a look at that. Megan Good is sitting up here with white Pookie. And sitting up here acting like this, like you really doing something really great and really fly, while you're looking shy and meepish as hell. But when you go and take a look at his life, you can see, oh, there's no adulthood threatened here. So my only point for you all is I want you to understand being consequential. Because when you're consequential, it doesn't matter where on earth you are, brother. If your options are not what they should be, the first thing you need to do is look at yourself and say, wait a minute. Am I really consequential, or am I looking at Pookie and Ray Ray and say, well, I'm doing better than them, so I'm consequential, right? There's the real problem. When you talk about how great you think you are, brother, are you comparing yourself to the men above you, or are you comparing yourself to the men below you?
Well, that's a great point, Jason. I mean, excellent point. And that's why, I'm such a huge follower. And I would say, those words that challenge the brothers who want to be challenged, definitely have us step up our game. And we've had the conversations about me moving to Nashville and kind of what that's done for my life and everything. But I'll finish it off like this. We just maybe have to continue to stand our ground. And you actually reminded me of something Neely Fuller said, where he said, there's nowhere to run, folks. So, I'll leave it at that and, be one. But I think that, it's the dating game it's changed so much for brothers. I just think we got to, hold our own ground and be patient. Be one.
Just keep increasing your value, period. Stay on your mission. Keep increasing your value. That's where everything emanates from. Let me get caller from area code 708. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Daniel from Chicago.
Daniel from Chicago, what's on your mind?
You absolutely telling the truth, because I don't know if most dudes could say this, but I know that all my exes tried to get back with me or trying to renegotiate when they realized when they fucked up. Just one of my exes recently, she's struggling right now. She's really trying to get back good with me. It is to the point, Jason, she's making a fake Facebook accounts, fake Snapchat accounts, and calling from different numbers. I had to change my number and everything. So you could definitely see when a woman's was she downgraded, or she thinks she has some than you. But, because, they good to put on the front, what I'm saying, for social media and all that type of stuff. So I definitely agree 1,000% on that. And what they usually try to do is try to bully man into, for settling less of like, hey, all these dudes, they nothing, and you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So that's definitely a fact, though.
Well, certainly, like I say, if you watch behaviors, that's the most important thing there, because a lot of guys dismiss that. They can be so wrapped up in what they're feeling that, by the way, if you take a look at the behaviors that are going on, you can see what's happening. My whole thing is just to tell you all, stay focused on generating value in of yourselves here. And tonight's program is not in any way negative toward women, by the way. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight, Daniel. By the way, tonight's program is in no way negative toward women. I'm doing you a favor and a service to all the women listening to me right now tonight. Reality can be beautiful or reality can be ugly. You can have Nick from Atlanta's ugly reality, or you can have something better. But if you are in denial of reality, it's going to all be ugly. I'm doing tonight's program here. It's important to let you all know. Ladies, there's a bunch of you who've been there, and there are a bunch of you who are on your way there. I'm trying to spare you heartache, trouble, difficulty, things that will cost you years and years off your life. Remember, you're supposed to purchase things with money. You shouldn't use time to purchase things. And as a woman, your years, especially between the ages of 20 and 32, your years are the most valuable ones you have. If you squander those, that's it. For a woman, being downgraded is a complete train wrecking of her life. That's not a minor thing that's just like, oh, well, ho-hum. That's not a ho-hum event. That's not a ho-hum event. You see, you'll have a whole bunch of people who will sit up here and talk you into a whole bunch of mess. And your family and your friends and your therapists and your coworkers, they'll sit up here and tell you, oh, this is a great idea. This is wonderful. They'll lead you off into trouble. It doesn't matter. You got 4, 5, 8, 9 kids. It doesn't matter about your bills or your debts. Don't worry. There'll be some super simp out there waiting. And then you roll the dice and well, don't worry. Ciara found future. Okay, Ciara found future. And how about any damn body else? They're sitting at home with their kids. They're sitting at home with their houseplants. They're sitting at home with their cats. And if we're not allowed to have an honest discussion with you about where you are, that's why you end up there. Caller from area code 651, you're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening, Jason. This is Bill calling from Minneapolis.
Bill from Minneapolis, what's on your mind?
I've been a huge fan of your show. I've been listening to you for the last couple of months, and your live stream about the whole Jada Pinkett and Will Smith situation was really on point, and it really draws into what you're talking about here tonight. And when you think about, the whole situation with Megan, it kind of draws into, comparisons to what I remember when Mike Tyson was linked with the Robin Givens back in the day. And then you basically see what happened after that, after Robin decided to try to go for the bag for Mike Tyson, and now how everything that turned out. Even though Mike Tyson, gradually went through his downfalls, but eventually he found a woman that basically stuck by him and helped to rebuild him. Now Mike Tyson's pretty much living his life to the best of his abilities at this stage right now. And then as a comparison to Robin Givens, you can't even notice her anymore because she has the bitterness in her eyes because she recognizes that she pretty much fucked up the bag when it was right there, right in front of her. You get the compare. You get the
yeah. I mean, like I say, at her age now, she did an interview recently talking about she's happy with the kids and enjoying her life. And then you take a look at her face, baby. There's not one lick of enjoyment going on over there at all. Thank you very much for giving us a call, ladies. We're trying to help. Your family and your friends are going to lie to you. They're going to deceive you. When was the last time any of the women listening to me right now had the opportunity to sit down and talk to your family or your friends in an honest way and say, you know what? By the way, let me find somebody who's not blowing smoke at me. If you're feeling what I'm saying right now, hit the like button for me. If I'm telling the truth, I want some of the ladies to hit the likes button for me here tonight. So can we have an honest conversation with somebody who's not kissing your ass about things and trying to help you? There's a whole bunch of women right now. You are sitting here in quiet desperation because you went from a quality man to struggle love because you figured, well, I'll just be out here on my own for a little bit, but it ain't going to be that bad. It won't be that bad. It'll be all right. It won't be that bad. It's not going to be that rough. And then you get to year 10, 12, 15. You got women y'all have set up here and thrown away your entire youth altogether. I mean, think about this for a few moments. Think about this, damn it. Kim Kardashian is 42 years old now. 42! Do you think any of that plastic surgery, hell, it ain't holding together so great now. Do you think anybody is going to be sitting up here looking at thirst trap pictures here in 5 or 6 years? What are you gonna do with a 42-year-old single mom of 4? I asked this question before she got divorced from Kanye, and I'm asking the same thing now. You all tell me, who in the world is going to line up so that they can do the exact same thing for her? Who's going to do that? So far, all she's got is white Pookie. He's lined up. But other than that, there's nothing. He's sitting around trying to be another one of the damn kids. But you know what he's not trying to do? He's not trying to make the Forbes billionaire list. He's not trying to do that. He's driving Kim's ultra exotic car. He's not trying to buy her one. He's driving hers. How many dumbasses are sitting up here saying, well, she's looking at that and, well, you know, this is going great and this was the plan. Oh, I'm perfectly fine with it. This was the plan. No, you see, if you want somebody to sit up here and lie to you because you have a mass media that lies to you, a social media that lies to you, social media has an algorithm that gathers together a bunch of other people. They say like-minded individuals. What they really mean are other chicks stuck in the same boat with you. A bunch of females who believe the lie that the world is just overflowing with quality men. And then well, I can go ahead and go play around and jerk around for a while. And then you sit up here and say, okay, there's a bunch of quality men. Nope. You just mess around and end up with Pookie, because there isn't anything left. Caller from area code 647, you're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Am I on live?
Caller from area code 678, you're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up? This is D from Atlanta.
Okay, D, put the pipe down. What's on your mind?
Why you say I got a pipe, bro?
You're real slow.
Anyways, I was just making sure that was me that you were talking to. I mean,
when you heard unmuted, that was you. Duh.
I didn't hear that. My fault, bro. Yeah, why are you so confrontational? Anyways, I just wanted to ask.
Caller from area code 650. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Marcus from San Francisco.
Marcus from San Francisco. What's on your mind?
Hey, I think, honestly, you've done it before, but I think you need to elaborate more on it. Because I ran into this situation. My cousins ran into this situation. A couple of guys I work with ran into this situation. The problem is when you give people things for free. And if you give them, especially from a person who struggled, who's not used to having certain things, like they were from the hood or they were raised, like myself, I was born in the hood and I got out the hood and I make decent money. And one of my wives and my current ex, they have the same, like I said, we were all same age and stuff. And you give them, they were grateful at first, but over time, it started to
they started to become, it's like I owe them something. It's like, I don't owe you anything. It's like you could have got it just like I did. But that's why I feel that you elaborate on it once or twice, and you're absolutely right. But I think you need to go into more detail. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, brother, you're talking in circles. I couldn't even follow you. What exactly was it you think needed to be elaborated on further?
Oh, giving people. So, for example, they're not used. So when a person was not used to having certain things, like let's say she was driving a Honda, like in my ex-wife's case, that's all she was used to. Then I upgraded her, and now she drives the Range Rover. Well, did she think that when the car came to be repaired, was she grateful enough? She expected me to do it, and what happened? Even though she was treating me like I was, like she was better than me, and then when we finally did break up, all she did was get with a dude, a F-boy. One of those dudes who ain't got shit, who ain't about nothing.
Yeah, I mean, understand when men are taught to survive on our own, women scramble for cover. So she's going to try to get, under the protection and provision of the quickest man she can, especially if she's used to having that. Now, what she tells herself is, oh, well, this will just be a temporary pit stop. And I'll be here for a minute before the next producer shows up. Now, that's what they tell themselves. Now, as men, we get to be more objective and pragmatic because we understand that's not the way life works. But also, you need to be aware of one other thing. Remember what I've taught you all, that when it comes to marriage, for example, the reason you can't have an open marriage is because a man brings resources to a marriage. A female is the resource that she brings to a marriage. Let me remind you all one more time. When it comes to a marriage, a man brings resources. A woman brings herself. She is the resource that she brings to a marriage. And the problem is, if you leave a marriage or a relationship for that matter, now you got to carry that somewhere else. And the problem is, every time a woman re-enters the sexual marketplace, she's gambling. She's rolling the dice that there's going to be a new man who is going to value her just as much as the last one did. This is why I was very pragmatic with Kim Kardashian. I'm like, yeah, you better stick with Kanye. Ain't nobody else valuing you with your plastic fake body enough to take care of 4 or 5 kids. Nobody values you that much. I don't give a damn what the magazine people told you. Nobody values you to that level. You got to be honest with yourself. So as women are very much entitled, they are very, very much entitled. And brother, by the way, you did it the right way. Let me be very, very clear. You did it the right way. You gave her something to lose. That's the bottom line. As men, we have to understand that our job is to be valuable enough so if anybody's not with us, they lose something. I was watching the story the other day about Lady of Rage and whatnot. She was talking about what happened to Death Row with her albums being released. Yeah, if you're not there anymore, you lose something. Michelle A., if you're not there anymore, you lose something. As men, be consequential and you lose something. And then you take that value on to the next, because as men, there's another thing that we're not really taught properly here. The society doesn't really encourage us for this. Males are taught to pedestalize women, but women are never taught to pedestalize men. They're taught that they're owed that. What men have to do is get back to communicating their value, which is, hey, that's why I say you got to show tribute to be here. And there's another thing. When fellas sit up here and, a woman is never supposed to be sitting there doing nothing for you. She's supposed to show tribute. I'm a firm believer that, if you spend $1 on her, she should spend 25 cents on you at least. But if you don't take that as a core value, just understand you're not giving them anything to invest in. Don't just give things. You got to put in time and have them put in time and effort. But no, definitely, you do things the right way. If they leave and then something goes badly, they leave and something goes badly, they're going to try to replace you, and you're going to find out just how valuable you were. If they can replace you with someone of equal or greater value, then you weren't worth very much. Now, if they can't, just understand, brother, you will have to burn them at the stake, tar and feather, and skin them alive before they ever say the words, "You were right."
Oh. Well, I'm gonna say you about 2 things you said. Man, my auntie said it. My ex said it too. She was like, "Oh, I was only with these dudes who were less than after my uncle left her or whatever, or after I left my wife." Man, you said that they were like, "Oh, I'm only with that dude. It was only just a stopgap measure. He was just there to fill in the void." But yeah, he was there for years, but talk about that part. But yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And
well, it's only a pit stop if they can actually move on. It's only a pit stop if they actually move on. If he's there for 3 or 4 years, that's not a pit stop. That's your new life. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get caller from area code 716. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey man, how you doing? My name is Daquan Anderson. I'm from Buffalo, New York, originally, but by way of the Bronx, New York. How you doing, Black Authority? Pleasure to meet you.
Daquan from Buffalo. What's on your mind?
Man, I was just listening to the show. Like I said, first time caller. I love what you do. I love what Treat Nasheed does. Listening for a while. I was just calling in before I headed out real fast. And I absolutely agree. With somebody like myself, who's a young father of 3 children, I went through a lot of things with my ex-fiance, and it was so funny how you was talking about bottom out. I was basically dealing with a situation with her recently where I just got on child support. And you know how that goes. With 3 children here in New York City, 56% of my checks. I just thought it was really crazy what the situation with her was, because she had moved on, as you said, and I spent a lot of time staying out of the dating game. I was a bit vexed. My first real serious relationship I ever had also was with the person I thought I was going to be spending the rest of my life with. And basically, it didn't work out. 2015, I went through some issues with being homeless and things like that, just really going through the actual trenches. I got myself back together about 2017, 2018, started off doing security, then eventually worked my way up to where I'm doing now, working for the city in 2 positions. But basically, she moved on with her life. She got another guy. He's around my kids. I've never met him a day of my life. And now I'm on child support.
Okay, did the new fella hit you in the head? Oh boy, don't tell me her new fella got him. Okay, we'll give him a minute to see if he can call back in or something. I hope the new fella didn't get him. As soon as he talked about the new dude. Oh, hell. He around my kids. I don't know who he is or whatever. Hey, nigga. All right. Hope Pookie didn't get him. If anybody is in the Bronx, I think he said he's in the Bronx too. Oh, y'all know the Bronx makes the news every night. The Bronx makes the news nightly. He might be in the trunk. We might find him in the trunk of somebody's car. If there's anybody up there who knows a dude from Buffalo with 2-3 kids, my broad, and they doing the Russell Wilson thing, call somebody. I don't know if I'm going to tell you call the police, call the fire department, CIA, somebody. Let me see here, brother. Is this you back on the line?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, we can now. We heard a thump and then we didn't hear anything. So I thought old boy got you. Yeah. I was about to say, hey man, I think he got you.
No, sorry, no. No, I have my Wi-Fi on instead of my mobile. I apologize. No, like I said, don't worry, I'm good in the Bronx. Shout out to everybody. I see the comments. They roasted me. But no, basically I've never met him before. She's been with him for a long time. She's had a daughter with him. And it's like, I'm the person that's being irresponsible for my kids. I had to do all of the court order visitation in the room with the women taking notes, lying on me. I've been arrested over this situation. I've lost jobs because of the situation. And now I'm, it's like I always have to be like the bigger person. And I'm right now seeking joint custody of my children to get, more decision making. They have residential custody, and they have, of course, the one where you actually make the decision. I have certain rights, I just don't have all my rights, and I'm going through a process with that right now. So it was just really interesting how you were saying about how, women go out bad like that. But then you look at her situation. She's on every type of public assistance, gets child supports. My children were born, unfortunately, for 25 weeks, so they're born premature. So they have certain learning disabilities and stuff. And it's like she gets all of these set aside, all of this stuff. And I was in a position where I couldn't really do as much as I wanted to do for my kids. Now that I am, and she immediately found out, I'm going to pick my kids up at a police station, and she has somebody there waiting on me to serve me papers. Then I'm going to court. They want to know everything.
She sounds pretty bitter about that for certain. Let me find out something. Where are her people from?
Jamaica. She's Panamanian in Jamaica.
There you go.
Why you say that? Wait. Why you say that?
There you go.
Wait, why you say that?
There you go, y'all. Bro, we ain't even got to discuss it. I understand. We ain't even got to discuss it. I understand, brother, but okay, brother, calm down. Calm down.
Sorry, Black and Forth. Go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead.
Y'all fellas in New York, I understand y'all are just them chicks from the Caribbean is just y'all. It's brand new to you, and I understand that, but it's a whole bunch of y'all don't understand. I said it before, and I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble. The chicks from the Caribbean, particularly that New York area, y'all know, all of y'all, general statement, you damn right, all of y'all are scandalous, cutthroat, ruthless. Brother, like I said, they rep is worldwide, bro. Their rep is worldwide. So you fellas who get up there and stuff and y'all sit around playing with fire like that, the rest of us are sitting around the country like, you didn't know this was the way they get down? You didn't know that? That's like these fellas who talk about these chicks from Colombia. Fellas who are in my age group in their mid-40s and 50s and mess talking about they talking to chicks from Colombia. Them broads from Colombia are cutthroat, man. You're talking about El Chapo's broad and sitting up here talking like we don't know that they're cutthroat. So I'm just saying, y'all fellas sit up here and roll the dice. And these chicks come from these cultures where they don't mind having 3 or 4 bastard babies all over the damn place. Okay, but then they show you thought she was naive, and next thing you know, she knows the system up one side and down the other. So to you fellas in New York, I'm just telling y'all right now, man, you deal with these Caribbean chicks at your own peril. Y'all play with them at your own damn peril. I'm not saying you can't have one who's a nice little broad to keep time with or whatever, but all this, we gonna have bastard kids with them and we gonna try to make a housewife out of them. Man, give that mess up. And I'm not saying that there might not be a few, but as far as like first generation, forget about it altogether. If they hang out at Carnival or anything even remotely close, if she got pictures of her from Carnival, you supposed to leave her alone, okay? You're not supposed y'all, there's all kinds of red flags, and y'all sit up here and hang out with them long enough, then they start leading you. Next thing you know, they start leading you. They start giving the cues to you. You start reflecting them as opposed to them becoming a reflection of you. So yes, I'm going to upset a whole bunch of people right here. To our folks here, our immigrant sisters from the Caribbean, let me be very, very clear. It's no hate, but you know I'm telling the damn truth. Y'all Caribbean chicks, particularly in New York, that Queens area, Queens, Brooklyn, they over there in the Bronx too, but I think that's more Dominicans. New York area, but y'all Caribbean chicks, y'all know y'all are ruthless, cutthroat, grimy. You clean up very well and you IG very well, but y'all know what you are. Atlanta is a stripper town. So if you get with a chick in Atlanta, I'm like, okay, now did you see her at Magic City? If you did, take a hint. New York, Caribbeans, forget it. It's a wrap. Fellas, I shouldn't, I'm from Louisiana, and I shouldn't have to tell you this, but I'm telling y'all, fellas, Caribbean, New York, they hip to the game. Forget about it. It's like when I used to live in Texas, dudes be over there, I'm going to get me a Mexican chick. You think she came across the border because she's stupid? She knows what the get down is. What the hell are you talking? I had fellas all in Texas like that. I'm gonna give me a Mexican chick. I'm like, okay, all of them got rolled. Fellas, you can't afford to be naive, man. You can't afford to be naive. And my fellas in New York, every fella, to my dudes in New York, to the black men who are in New York City right now, if I'm telling the truth, give me the thumbs up emoji in the chat. If I'm telling the truth,
they about
give me
to
the
go
thumbs
crazy. I
up.
already know.
If I'm lying,
Let me see.
if I'm lying, give me the red X. If I'm telling the truth, give me the thumbs up. If I'm lying about the Caribbean chicks in New York, give me the red X. Or just give me the prohibited symbol or whatever. Give me something. Anything other than the thumbs up. If I'm lying on all of them and I'm giving them a bad name and I'm saying stuff I shouldn't be saying, Jason, you're being negative. They're all goodness and spice while the greatest women in the world come. Nicki Minaj. Okay. Cardi B. All right. Dude, it's not about how they okay, brother, you just demonstrated how you got in trouble. Okay, excuse me. It doesn't matter, sir. It doesn't matter how you're already showing how you got yourself in trouble. It doesn't matter how they look. The real thing is, how do they behave themselves? Wife material has not a whole lot to do with how they look. I mean, you don't want to end up in bed with Tarana Burke. I mean, I understand that. But wife material is Nicki Minaj is not wife material. She's not.
Absolutely.
And if you're going to get somebody pregnant, y'all listen to people. See, pregnancy is a game for females. Ladies, no, I'm not being negative. I'm telling the truth. Women get all kinds of benefits from having children. Children are a benefit to a woman. They're a burden for a man. So women can have anchor babies. Women can sit up here and get welfare checks. They can get child support, food stamps, daycare assistance. Babies are a check for them. For men, it is a burden. So that's why men have to be super serious about this, because you're in a system that uses your recklessness against you. For females, they'll subsidize them and protect them for it. For men, you will get penalized. You don't get to do what she does and then get what she gets because you have nobody who'll enforce it. Now she's got something that will enforce it, but you don't have anybody to enforce the same thing for you. So that's why you all can't afford to walk around here and be reckless, and you'll be dealing with that stuff for the rest of your lives, really, because she's going to try to take as big a bite out of your asses as you can. And why a man would be stupid enough, I gotta be totally honest, why a man would be stupid enough to have bastard kids in New York or California is beyond me. I don't know why a person would be silly enough to think that's ever going to turn out well. It isn't. And see what they do for you fellas here, especially these Caribbean chicks, what they do is they grab y'all when you're younger and stupid and you're not doing nothing right then. But because you live in a place like New York, which is ultra competitive, and because it's so expensive to be there, it forces you to start elevating a lot sooner than somebody from, no offense, Memphis or Little Rock. Got love for Memphis and Little Rock, y'all, but I'm from Louisiana. We got to tell the truth. So in a place like New York City, you're going to have a lot more pressure on you to start performing sooner. So she can roll the dice. If she can get a baby with you and some other nigga, she can roll the dice that between the two of you, one of you is going to be making six figures before it's over. Her chances of that are 50-50. That's why y'all are dumb as hell for doing that. Her chances of getting one of y'all to get six figures is 50-50. In New York City, it's a 50-50 chance. So while you're sitting there talking about, well, I'm laid up with her and I'm making $30,000, I'm making maybe 40. Okay, she can't get nothing. She's like, oh no, I'm playing the long game. I'm gonna check back with you in 3 years. I'll check back with you in 3 years, and then we'll see what the game is. And now, like you said, well, I had to start elevating because them checks was eating me up. And here comes the city. Next thing you know, okay, I'm making 80, 90,000. Okay, and she's like, yeah, I knew that train's coming in. Now I get, every time you get a raise, I get a raise. So fellas, start valuing this. Don't play this game. I know some of y'all, your mamas might have been doing that. The block was doing that. Y'all can't afford to do it. You can't play with this at any level. These females are waiting to trap you. You ain't trapping them. And can we just be honest, brother? Did she have any children before you got with her?
No, sir.
Okay, no. Can you be honest?
Absolutely.
She did not. No. Stop. You need to listen. Let's be honest. I want you to be honest for a moment and tell me.
Yeah.
Was she the prettiest chick you've been with to that point?
No, sir.
Okay, then I don't know why in the world she's the one you chose to get pregnant if she wasn't. That doesn't make a lot of sense. If she was a downgrade, then That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But obviously, if she got you to get her pregnant, then obviously you was hypnotized. Thank you, Lil Boosie. You was hypnotized by something then. Because in the 21st century, let's be very, very clear. It hasn't paid for a man to make bastard babies since 1988. It's been a trap since the 80s. So for y'all fellas to be doing that now, y'all are just like, man, screw my life. I don't care what happens. I'm like, no, man, no. So y'all are aware of what's going on. Y'all start identifying with the females. And then next thing you know, you get downgraded. Because let's be very, very clear. She's got this handcuff on you. And a lot of you dudes get these chicks pregnant. These Caribbean chicks, y'all think it's great to have these foreign flags flying around. Ooh, she exotic. And then you decide you're going to handcuff her. Okay, let me make sure she don't go nowhere, so let me handcuff her. Next thing you know, y'all going round and round and hear the police showing up. Let me handcuff her. Okay, well, she's got you handcuffed too, because now it's like, okay, do the females in New York really want to deal with you with all this drama going on? So now you handcuffed her, but guess what? She got you cuffed too. Fellas, she's, in her case, I don't even know if she's downgraded necessarily. I know she's got a bunch of mess going on. So far, she's found two of y'all. So far, she's found two of you. Hopefully, it won't be a third one, but who knows? Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get caller from area code 734. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, Jay? Oh, it's Ty, man. Calling from the road, Detroit.
All right, Ty from Detroit, what's on your mind?
What's going on, man? You're absolutely right, man. The woman in the middle, I met my wife in the Dominican Republic. I'm from Detroit, but I lived on the East Coast for like 9 years. And I promise you, bro, you're 100% right. Like, if we split for no reason at all, not abuse, wasn't even my income or anything. It was like she got what she needed. It was almost like citizenship. But with no real withdrawal on her end because we didn't even finish the process. So now she's in New York. I'm back home in Michigan. And she is struggling, calling me Instagram messages. She didn't.
Okay, let me find out here now. What foreign, did you say she was from a foreign country?
Yeah, from Dominican Republic, the capital.
All right, she one of them fellas. All right now.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's what I said. Dude hit it right on her head. So I'm just not even going to debate. I just have
y'all know the drill, man. These Caribbean chicks come over here. It's brand new to y'all. Next thing you know, somebody want to handcuff them. I'm not here to police grown people. So if you want to do whatever you do, that's fine. All I'm going to tell you is obey the rules. Don't get them pregnant and don't marry them. If you know your motives are not really good, and handcuffing is not a good motive, if you know your motives are not really good or enduring, then don't. And at least you'll be able to walk away with most of yourself intact. But don't give her the ability to handcuff you for the rest of your life. Don't do that. Now, you said that she was trying to get a green card.
Well, yeah, she screwed herself. So what it is like, they say talking to people that don't have a pot or a window to throw. Her biggest mistake was thinking she had the game together. But around that time, we separated. Trump was in house. He was trying to build walls and send everybody back all together. So anyhow, she's being deported now because she didn't let the process.
Oh, hell.
It's a process, 3 years or whatnot, and you have to interview and whatnot and assess the agreement, make sure it's not a monetary thing like, we got married for profit or anything like that. But
yeah, her 90-day fiance scheme didn't work out very well, although she just overstays and just doesn't leave. There's not a whole lot of consequence for that now. So we'll see how it turns out. But thank you very much for giving us a call here. Like I say, fellas, it's all this overseas, and we're gonna see if we're not gonna focus on increasing our value. So let's just go see if we can find a chick we got leverage on, and maybe she wants citizenship, so that will make up from. I don't have to have the value. The United States can have the value, so I'll let her use me. No, fellas, that never turns out well. That's not competing. That's not competing. It's not a downgrade to be without you. She wants the United States. She don't want you. So make sure you keep it strong, man. You don't want to be in a situation where they're like, okay, I'm cool with her without you. You don't want that. It's like as soon as she gets the green card, she's like, all right, I'm straight. Caller from area code 862. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hold up, that's me?
Yes, that's you. Put the pipe down, sir.
I'm sorry about that. I had the phone on speaker. I had to wait until it was my turn. That's why. Sorry about that. Well, let me just say, my name is Lord Don, and I want to thank you for, your participation in trying to strengthen the community. And I appreciate everything that you do. I just wanted to start out by saying something from the Whitney Houston song. I believe the children are the future. Teach them well to let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty of possess inside. Everybody knows that. So, Jason, with that being said, it's almost like when you're talking to grown folks and you know that these people have been dumb for so long, it's almost like beating a dead horse. Maybe revamp the show, not telling you what to do, just an idea. Maybe revamp the show, cater to a younger audience so we can shift the community's mindset into a better vision because older folks just want to be dumb. You see it all the time. And that's all I wanted to say. I didn't want to take up too much time.
Well, I don't.
Let the old folks take them.
I don't put a limit or an age limit. I mean, I don't solicit to talk to minors about this kind of thing, but were you under the impression that there's an age limit for my program or something?
Well, nah. It's just, I just feel like if you were to maybe coach the younger adults, not necessarily the minors, maybe the 18 on and up, you could shift their minds and help them understand. Listen, don't spend all your money on Balenciaga and Gucci and Coco Chanel. These people don't give a fuck about you, and you waste your money that you could possibly be setting up your own retirement with, trying to look cool and keep up with the Joneses for empires that are already fucking rich.
Well,
so
if
we could get our money together, get our minds right.
We're kind of wandering a little bit, but thank you very much for giving us a call here. Yeah, I definitely do speak to any younger people who want to talk and whatnot. But the real thing is, like I say, if you're relevant, if you haven't screwed yourself up totally, because you're still walking around here with them. So I've got young people who listen to the program also. That's fine. The real thing is talking to folk who have options. That's the real thing. So if you got options, you're relevant to it. I did tonight's program here. I'm doing tonight's program because I'm talking about the perils of being downgraded. I'm talking about the perils of being downgraded, and Megan Good is Exhibit A for what happens. I said that 2022 was the year of the downgrade, and look no further than Megan Good. Look no further than that. Ladies, if you got a fella who's about something, you better hang the hell in there. If you got something that's about something, you better hang in there. It just seems like a good idea to walk back out here and test the waters. It seems like a good idea. It seems exciting. It seems like you got possibilities. Oh, I want to switch things up. I want some excitement. It seems like it's going to be okay. And then you mess around and realize, I'll be damned, I'm out here with white Pookie. Next thing you know, it's not so damn fun anymore. So what I'm trying to do is have an honest conversation with you that, ladies, getting downgraded is no fun. It's not cool, and you're not going to be able to bounce back the way you were in days past. It's not available anymore. The situation's too perilous. Life is too expensive. If you're in a good place, stay there. You got a quality man, stay there. Struggle love is not going to be a temporary rest stop on your way to something better. It's going to be your new home address. This is not going to be a temporary situation. This will be your new home address. Or go test the waters. Maybe it'll work out better for you than it did for Megan. And for Lala. And for Kim K. And for all the others. Maybe you got something that they don't. Who knows? We're going to go ahead and wrap up the program here tonight. I want to thank you all for joining us here tonight, and thank you especially to everybody who contributed to tonight's program on Super Chat, PayPal, or Cash App. Thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that. If you are new here to the business, welcome to the program that laid the foundation upon which all these copycats are taking everything they're getting from it here, and you heard exactly why that is tonight. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Join us for each and every broadcast. I plan on being back here tomorrow night. I'm looking into that, so be on the lookout here for another program tomorrow night. And by the way, as far as talking to the youth, definitely make sure you sign up for my Patreon. The link is in the description of each video. So especially if on Patreon, I'm able to give more time one-on-one. So definitely if you need extra help with that and to have more time to speak to you, that's where I do that at. So check out our Patreon. We definitely have a lot of good content for you over there as well. And I get to talk to you one-on-one about your specific issues here. I want to thank you all for joining us here tonight. This concludes tonight's broadcast of The Business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember...
Hello, Jason. It's 7 a.m. Handle your business, or your business will handle you. Have a blessed day. Peace.